Have you ever wanted to be reconciled with God? Have you ever wanted to know for sure where you stand with Him? And that the place that you stand with Him is a good place, is a safe place, where you don't have to worry. I've wanted this for myself for a very long time. And I came across something that really made a difference. I'll share it with you. It's found in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, starting in verse 14. For the love of Christ compels us, because we judge thus, that if one died for all, then all died. And He died for all, that those who live should live no longer for themselves, but for Him who died for them and rose again. Verse 17, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Now all things are of God, who has reconciled us to Himself through Jesus Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, that God was in Christ, reconciling the world unto Himself, not imputing their trespasses against them, and has committed to us the word of reconciliation. And verse 21 says that He made Him who knew no sin to become sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in Him. Many times we try to do certain things in order to please God. We think that if we read the Bible more, we think that if we say the right things, if we dress a certain way, that God will be pleased with us. But the Bible tells us that there's only one thing that pleases the Father, and that's Jesus Christ. Through Christ, it says in verse 19, God was reconciling the world unto Himself. God was in Christ reconciling you unto Himself. So here we see that to be reconciled with God, we don't need to do something, we need someone, and that someone is Jesus Christ. It says in verse 21 that He made Christ, who knew no sin, who enjoyed the worship and the praise of the angels, to become sin, to become your sorrows, to become your burdens, to become your trials and your temptations. He became that we might become the righteousness of God through Him. You see, Christ has already obtained the victories that you need in your life. And so this reconciliation that you have wanted for so long, God offers it to you in a person, and His name is Jesus Christ. So today, you can be assured that you can be reconciled to God. It says in verse 17 that if you're in Him, that you're a new creation. It also says in verse 19 that He does not hold your trespasses against you. And He has committed to you the word of reconciliation, that as you are reconciled, you can help other people to be reconciled with Him as well. And verse 15 says that He died for you, so that now, as you live in Christ, as you live in that person, that you no longer have to live for yourself, but for Him who died for you. And to summarize it all, verse 14 is beautiful. It says that the love of Christ compels us. It's the love of Christ that moves us to be the way that we are. It's Christ living in us, the hope of glory that leads us to follow, that leads us to obey. It's His beautiful life living in us that lives through us. And because of that life, we're reconciled to God. So I invite you to be reconciled to God through Jesus Christ.